Japan, a nation known for its technological prowess and economic might, has long adhered to a pacifist constitution, limiting its military capabilities to self-defense. However, the geopolitical landscape in the Asia-Pacific region has been undergoing a rapid transformation, prompting Japan to reassess its strategic posture. In a move that has sent ripples through the corridors of power in Beijing, Moscow, and Pyongyang, Japan has embarked on a significant shift in its defense policy, signaling a new era for the island nation. This strategic move has not come out of the blue. It is a calculated response to the growing assertiveness of China, the unpredictable nature of North Korea, and the shifting dynamics of global power. Japan's new defense strategy is a clear indication that Tokyo is no longer content with being a passive actor in the region. The implications of this shift are far-reaching, with the potential to reshape the balance of power in the region. It is a clear sign that Japan is willing to take on a more proactive role in safeguarding its national interests and those of its allies. This new era for Japan is one that demands attention and careful analysis, as it has the potential to redefine the geopolitical landscape of the Asia-Pacific. At the heart of Japan's new strategic initiative lies a fundamental shift in its defense posture. For decades, Japan has maintained a policy of relying on the United States for its security, with its military primarily focused on self-defense. However, recent developments have led Tokyo to adopt a more assertive approach, one that emphasizes proactive defense and the strengthening of its own military capabilities. This shift is evident in Japan's decision to revise its national security strategy, a document that outlines the country's long-term security outlook and defense priorities. The revised strategy calls for a significant increase in defense spending, the development of new military capabilities and closer security cooperation with like-minded countries, particularly the United States and Australia. The move to bolster its own defenses is not a sign of waning trust in the U.S. security umbrella. Instead, it reflects a growing recognition in Tokyo that Japan must be prepared to shoulder a greater share of the burden in ensuring its own security and that of the region. This proactive approach to defense is a clear departure from Japan's traditional posture and is indicative of the changing security environment in the Asia-Pacific. To fully comprehend Japan's strategic shift, we must understand its historical context. Post-World War II, Japan adopted a pacifist constitution, renouncing war and limiting its military. This stance allowed Japan to focus on economic growth, but new security challenges from China and North Korea have forced a re-evaluation. Japan is now shifting towards a more pragmatic security approach. Section 4. China's response, concerns, and countermeasures. China, with its burgeoning economic and military might, has emerged as a key factor in Japan's strategic calculus. Beijing's assertive stance in the East and South China Seas, coupled with its rapid military modernization, has raised concerns in Tokyo about China's long-term intentions. Japan's strategic shift is, in part, a response to this perceived threat from its larger neighbor. As expected, China has reacted to Japan's move with a mixture of suspicion and condemnation. Beijing views Tokyo's decision to strengthen its military capabilities as a direct challenge to its own regional ambitions. Chinese officials have accused Japan of abandoning its pacifist principles and of stoking regional tensions. They have also warned that Japan's actions could trigger an arms race in the region. China's response to Japan's strategic shift is likely to involve a combination of diplomatic pressure, economic coercion, and military countermeasures. Beijing may increase its military activities in the East and South China Seas, conduct more frequent military exercises near Japanese territory, and step up its diplomatic efforts to isolate Japan regionally and internationally. The relationship between the two Asian powers is entering a new phase, one marked by heightened competition and mistrust. Section 5. Russia's calculus, navigating a multipolar world. Russia, another major power with a significant stake in the Asia-Pacific region, is watching Japan's strategic shift with a wary eye. Moscow's relations with Tokyo have long been strained by a territorial dispute over the Kuril Islands, which has prevented the two countries from signing a peace treaty formally ending World War II. Japan's move to bolster its defense capabilities comes at a time when Russia is itself seeking to reassert its influence in the Asia-Pacific. Moscow sees the region as a key arena for geopolitical competition with the United States and its allies. Japan's strategic shift, particularly its closer security cooperation with the United States, is likely to be perceived by Moscow as a challenge to its own regional ambitions. Russia's response to Japan's move is likely to be more nuanced than China's. While Moscow may share some of Beijing's concerns about Japan's growing military capabilities, it is also mindful of the potential economic and strategic benefits of closer ties with Tokyo. Russia is likely to calibrate its response carefully, seeking to balance its interests in maintaining a cooperative relationship with Japan, while at the same time pushing back against what it perceives as Japanese encroachment on its own sphere of influence. Section 6. North Korea's Dilemma, Between Provocation and Pragmatism. North Korea, under the leadership of Kim Jong-un, remains an unpredictable and volatile actor in the region. Pyongyang's pursuit of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles poses a direct threat to Japan's security. Japan's decision to strengthen its defense capabilities is, in part, a response to this ongoing threat. North Korea's reaction to Japan's strategic shift is likely to be a mix of bluster and belligerence. Pyongyang may view Tokyo's move as a provocation and an excuse to ramp up its own military activities, including missile tests and other provocations. These actions would be intended to intimidate Japan and sow discord between Tokyo and Washington. However, North Korea is also facing a number of internal and external challenges, including a struggling economy, international sanctions, and the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. These factors may constrain Pyongyang's ability to respond aggressively to Japan's move. North Korea may instead opt for a more calibrated response, using its actions to extract concessions from Japan and the international community. Section 7. A New Geopolitical Landscape. Japan's strategic shift is a watershed moment in the geopolitical landscape of the Asia-Pacific region. It marks a significant departure from Japan's post-war pacifist stance and signals a new era of Japanese assertiveness on the world stage. This move will have profound implications for regional stability and international relations. The rise of China, the resurgence of Russia, and the ongoing threat from North Korea have created a complex and challenging security environment in the Asia-Pacific. Japan's decision to bolster its defense capabilities reflects a growing recognition in Tokyo that the country can no longer rely solely on the United States for its security. Japan is now signaling its willingness to play a more proactive role in shaping the regional order. This new era will be marked by increased competition, shifting alliances, and the potential for miscalculation. Japan's strategic shift is a clear indication that the country is prepared to defend its interests and those of its allies. The international community must now adapt to this new reality and work to manage the risks while maximizing the opportunities for cooperation and stability in the region.